Hello, this is Tracy Davison, and I'm in Laos. Today is June 15, 2015, and we have a very special interview today. Let me introduce my guests. We'll start with Dan Lutz, who you've met before in our breaking news story last week. He was here in Laos for about 2 weeks ago, and he met with M1 to his right, and to the right of M1 is Annie Forrest, and she is the World Prime Minister of Finance and Banking. So, let's go ahead and begin our interview. My first question for you is, are you M1?
Yes.
Okay, and for the purpose of this interview, may I refer to you as M1? Okay, thank you very much. So, news is spreading virally about payments 1 through 11, which was part of the breaking news story we rolled out last week. And I want to ask you questions for the public consumption. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, very good. First question. What is payments 1 through 11?
Declaration of transaction for support all the countries and the people.
So it's a transaction to cover,
All the countries and all the people.
so this covers all the countries and all the people. And specifically, what does that cover for the countries and people?
To the countries, basically the new quotas.
The new
Quotas.
So new quotas.
Yes.
So each country will receive a quota amount. How much is that amount per country?
138 trillions US dollars.
That's 138 trillion set aside for each country.
No, that quota is for them to print their own new currencies.
Yes. Identical.
Okay, so that covers, this would be asset-based money, right? The new money that gets printed would be asset-based, okay? And then what else does the payments 1 through 11 cover?
Covered by 1 trillion principle as the new situation.
So the principal is 1
Quintillion.
quintillion. 1 quintillion. So 1 quintillion is a very large number.
18 zeros.
18 zeros, you go million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, right? Quintillion. So that's 18 zeros behind the 1. And that's what's being set aside for the new economy. There's 1 quintillion. Okay. What else does payments 1 through 11 cover?
Payment 1 to 11, principal 230 or what trillions US dollars.
So it's 234
What trillion
quadrillion in US dollars,
US dollars.
and that covers, what's that for? That part?
Payment 1.
Oh, payment 1 through, oh, I see, okay.
That's the total.
So payment 1 through 11 is covered in the 234 quadrillion, while the new economy will have 1 quintillion. Okay, so all these payments are done. It seems to me that the payments 1 through 11, that pays off all debt, right? And does it matter what kind of debt it is? Can it be, will cover country debt? Okay, so it covers all debts, corporate, personal. If I owe my friend money, will it cover that? Okay.
Including all the instruments.
Okay, so any debt.
And that's actually why it came to you, was because of bonds. There's a whole bond program to work wanting to redeem bonds, and that will be covered.
Yes, that is on behalf of debts.
All
But
debts.
prepaid allocation.
And so this is covering the face value of the debt, right? It's whatever's owed, right? Okay. So it's not discounted. Okay, so all debts are paid off, not discounted. Everything is paid off in full and under.
They'll make a lot of very happy people.
That's a lot. And then also there's a part that's you refer to as the human obligation. right? Let's talk about that. How much is allocated per human being on planet Earth under the human obligation?
To the human obligation principle, 6 million.
6 million.
Yeah.
So 6 million, the value of 6 million USD
Yes.
allocated for every man, woman, and child on planet Earth today, which is over 7 billion of us on planet Earth today. So you can do the math. That's a big number too. But certainly the 234 quadrillion is larger than all of those numbers put together. And the new economy with 1 quintillion is even bigger. So that's an amazing answer. That's your answer for payments 1 through 11. What is payments 1 through 11? You just got the answer. You just heard from M1 himself. Okay, so in addition to the allocation of 6 million per individual, there's also a monthly payment going out to make sure, well, this is going to end hunger, this monthly payment, right? How can you be hungry if you have money to buy food, right? There's plenty of food. And so what is that amount? Is it different from each country? Is my understanding correct that it may be different depending on what country, or is it the same amount per individual?
Equal.
It's an equal principle. So I think it's broken down by adult and child, right?
Yes.
How much is the amount for
Student
each
in
adult?
general.
Student
Student
in
in
general.
general.
Student, child, student,
Yes.
600.
600.
Okay, so student child would be 600.
Yes.
To the general people or 1 person, $200 per month.
Okay.
So 1,200 per adult.
So it's 1,200 per adult and 600 per student child.
Yes.
So does that include someone that's not a student, like a child that's under 4?
Yes.
It would also still be 600? So for any child? Okay. Well, that should cover any household, anywhere in the world, even if you live in the U.S. where things are a little more expensive. So, and then also the payments 1 through 11 cover the construction of new cities.
That's right, yes.
Which would be in all countries, these new cities. These new cities is referred to as the Venus Project. Is that correct? Okay. So very, very exciting. Jack Fresco is the architect behind the idea of the Venus cities. It's just a new green, modern type. It takes advantage of the technologies that are available today for the cities, so they're more efficient cities, and would be a symbol, is what I understand. Is that correct? So it's a symbol of that the world has made a leap ahead in a positive way. And with that, that's a wrap. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to my second question, and that is, what is the current value of the collateral that's being used to cover payments 1 through 11?
Yes. Comprises the free collateral, global collateral principle of 78 billion kilograms.
78 billion kilograms.
78 billion kilograms of gold
Gold and platinum.
and platinum.
Majority platinum.
To put this into
Majority is platinum.
Platinum.
to put this in perspective, a kilogram is 1,000 grams. We're talking about a brick of metal, right? And platinum and gold are both pretty heavy metals. So, in fact, gold's the heaviest, right? So we're talking about 1,000 kilograms times 78 billion, and that's certainly much larger collateral than the quintillion that it would take for the new economy that this will all be based on. Wow. That's a lot of metal and a very large asset. And with that, that's a wrap. Okay, we're on to our third question. I know we're dealing with some very large numbers, but we're talking about the whole world here. And so the third question is, what kind of documentation do you have in one that you are the sole owner of this collateral, the 78 billion kilograms of platinum and gold?
Yes, the basic I have about the identity certificate is called microfilm. The identity certificate of the microfilm using the birth substitution certificate, and that is was required by the Union Bank of Switzerland with total collateral 78 billion kilogram. The Exhibit E principal 255 certificate, Exhibit B principal 29 certificates platinum, and Exhibit B the basic the last time 17 obligation certificate, and the golden certificate principal 70 billion kilogram platinum.
So when we hear the terms Exhibit A and B, it's actually referring to this documentation,
Yes.
this proof that you are the owner, which also microfilm is part of what's recognized. You possess the microfilm and the certificate. And can the public see the certificate?
To the public, can see, but the certificate after it's all finished. Before this is finished 10 years. The public can question to the Union Bank of Switzerland. Who and what account? Because that is under the article and the rule agreements. Because to the single owner using what the court's name. But the court name covered by the certificate identity is the big copy. This is backup security to the system and the monetary system, because that is covered to all the law, to all the regulation, to change the new regulation. Because automatically, if in all of us the account control agreement by online authority, nothing is done.
So there is a certificate, and at some point you will bring that to light, in the public light,
When it's safe.
when it's safe. So
Yeah.
things are in the works for that to happen. And then that will come out, so documentation will be irrefutable. This will be irrefutable documentation that you're the sole owner of so much metal. Wow, okay. That's a wrap. Okay, so this is question number 4. What is required in order to receive a payment out of payments 1 through 11?
Principal, the bank must collect about the identity of the people.
Okay, so for people, a person just simply presents a government ID?
Government ID principal or the citizen ID principal as the identity. That's
Like an ID
yes,
card.
acceptable.
So this would work.
Yes.
So for Dan to get access to his payment as an individual,
Because
this is all he needs to
if
present.
I am as the people, I have got this identity, I can claim to the bank that, well, my ATM,
There goes
my ATM, my human obligation, this is was covered by the amount.
That's covered.
Yeah, the acceptable. Because tomorrow, under the instruction and under the release, the people will understand. 1 hour, the people will understand this plan.
Very good. And then the second part would be like governments, banks and whatnot. Their payment, how do they receive it?
To the government principal must using for the form they must sign, because this is for the biggest money, for the new printing, for the patent license agreement, and that is to cover for your countries. Nothing.
This is for them to print their new currency, the
Yes,
138 trillion.
Yes, this is to the new currency, and you can use it for the picture in your new currency.
So the process to receive payment is very simple. It's not complex.
Yes.
Present your ID to receive or fill out a form if you're a government or bank or whatever, and that takes care of it. That's reassuring. That's a wrap. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go to our next question. Are payments a gift if accepted by August 17th, 2015?
Yes, as the gift.
It's a gift.
Gift.
Now, why was the date chosen, August 17, 2015?
Finish, because that is about the identity to feeling. That's why the people was born in this planet. That is support by the God.
So that was why the date was chosen?
Yes.
So clarify that a little bit, I got a little bit lost. The date was chosen because it's finished?
It was karena diselesaikan kan? Yeah.
There is protection.
It's for protection.
Because from the last time, any religious in this planet, yeah,
Any religions?
has not over. But the life, the people. Oh,
They have offered this to the people in the past.
because the problem in this planet,
Yeah.
about the economy social. That is the basic about the problem, the economy.
Yeah, that is a central problem. That's why there's so much chaos in the world.
That's why I think using the human obligation to the people principle, to freedom forever.
Freedom forever sounds good, doesn't it? So, what happens if the payment is not received or accepted as the gift by August 17, 2015? So what if it, like for example, a government lets the time pass, it's August 19th, and the deadline passed. So what happens then?
Principle that is under the grand design from the God, for me no problem. But that way,
So there's no problem for you, but
No problem for me.
it'd be a problem for the
the
country.
big problem to the country.
Okay, this could be a significant problem, it sounds like to me, because if other countries receive this as a gift, and then your country chooses not to receive it or misses the deadline, and part of this publication broadcast of this information is to put the whole world on notice that a date is coming. It's a hard date for the countries, not for the individuals, right? That's separate. But for the countries, this is a hard date, August 17, 2015. If the countries choose to let the time lapse, ignore this, or choose not to receive this as a gift, then after that date, it's no longer available as a gift, ever again. Sure? Okay. Yet, you still would be available they can borrow from you, right? And so they can have access, but it's now through borrowing, not as a gift. Am I understanding it correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So the other part to the date of August 17, 2015 is that's not a hard date for the individual. The individuals will be able to receive their gift as soon as they become aware of it, and it's an ongoing gift for generations. So new babies born, they can access an account that would be allocated for them, 6 million, and then the monthly. So that's an ongoing gift, ongoing, as people are born. So as soon as people learn about this, they can ask for their gift, 6 million plus the monthly. To reiterate, that was $600 per child, $1,200 equivalent USD per adult. So that's the monthly. The 6 million is enough to cover paying off personal debts. Is that correct? And then you can access that And that's, more information will come out on that later, on how to access and mine into that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is very big news. And with that, that's all right. M1, why are you making these payments?
That is under instruction from the God.
Following the instructions from God.
This is for finishing about the global crisis, for finishing about the problem solving, to finishing about all the problems to the people, principle to protect the people to the next generation.
So you say finish, so you mean this will bring to an end all the financial problems we've been having. And we're in a crisis today. We're in a very serious financial crisis. I'll just make a note here that we've been hearing doom and gloom easily for the last 15 years when it comes to the global economy. You've heard the dollar's going to collapse, the dollar's going to collapse, and that the dollar's tied to all the other currencies, and that those currencies will collapse if the dollar collapses, and that would ruin the whole financial market. That is a path that I've been hearing that we've been on in the news, in books, in magazine articles, newspaper clippings. I've been hearing this for 15 years. 15 years, and the crisis is worse today than it was 15 years ago. It's escalated to a point where something must be done. So this is your motivation, because it's time to finish the old, put an end to the crisis and bring abundance in.
Yes, because that is under my authority. That is for my job. Not finishing about the problems, the global crisis, the global financial changing.
So this is your responsibility.
Yes.
That's a great job.
Yes.
That is the secret control of monetary finance system.
That's a very big job. And I believe we've, in our discussions before, that what you hope happens is that people's hearts will be changed. Is this true?
Yes,
You
I
hope.
must open your heart, must open your head. Yeah, because you under control by the God. And now I'm to invite you. Praise God, I have got the delivery mandate, and now to all I am open.
So you deliver the mandate, and now everything will be open.
Yes.
So would there be a need for jealousy if everybody's got the same access?
And that is no problem.
Yeah,
Jealousy, no problem. You have
Agree.
no problem, nothing.
right. So that's why M1 has chosen to do this. With that, that's a wrap. All right, for our next question. M1 is making these payments an act of peace.
Yes, because you from the heaven.
I'm sorry?
You from the heaven.
View from heaven.
We are from heaven.
Yes. And to all the men, principal, the people from the heaven, now must come back. By peace and quiet together. Where are you in this planet? You're from the sky.
We're from the sky
Yes.
before we
This
come
is
to
the
you.
new generation from Adam and Hawa. Now you must come back.
That's everything. Now you're back to
So the answer is yes. This is an act of peace. Divinely inspired. Act of peace. A very generous offer from the owner of such great wealth. Such wealth that most people didn't realize perhaps even existed on earth.
Yes.
But now it's come out. Such a person exists with such great wealth to offer such a generous offer to make payments 1 through 11, which can change everything.
Yes.
Make a better world, heaven on earth.
That's right.
That's the objective.
Yes. May I add a little bit also?
Yes?
The idea is that once we have known that we have the 6 million, we have the monthly payment, people then will be able to pursue their heart desires, their true desires. So teachers can be true teachers, not because they get the salary, because they love teaching. So we'll have all these people pursuing their dream.
Builders can
Career,
build.
builder can build, and so on. So that's joy to me.
Absolutely. That's if you've ever tuned into the show 60-Second Millionaire TV, you know that I've always talked about how each individual has purpose, and this purpose is innate, or you're born with it, right? And inside that purpose is the joy for each individual. And that I believe that we get trapped in the current circumstances in this world where we don't find joy because we're too busy making a living, because we have to make a living, pay the bills, and many times we don't do what we're supposed to be doing, what we were born to do.
And what we all know is that there's plenty of abundance on the planet already for all of us.
Yes.
Right.
So we don't have to strive to feed ourselves. It's already
Yeah.
been built for us. It's already been taken from the ground. It's available.
So your children, your grandchildren, they are able to do that in the future.
Yeah, be completely different.
Exactly.
That's the basis of an asset-based economy, not one that's built upon infinite debt creation and scarcity and the lack of. If you've been tuned into 60-Second Millionaire TV, you know I've talked about how large the numbers are of people on Earth that are making less than actually, $10 a day. It's over 4.5 billion people making that's their earnings, and that's such a small amount for what the purchasing power is, even anywhere in the world. It's so small. So this changes that dynamic completely, right? And people now can live at a higher level, and there's no need for there's no need for war, is there?
No.
That would be good. Okay, well, may peace reign on earth. And with that, that's a wrap. Okay, for our next question. In what form will the payments be made? And can these payments be easily converted into what people want?
To people, principle simple, you can show to the banks using the ID. Yeah, that is principle. This is kind of simple. If your government and your bank responsible to your people, if your government opposite, you will have the bigger problem with the government, because the government must responsible.
The governments are responsible on whether or not they're accepting the payments. So if they go against it, then they're going against their people.
Yeah, the people must question, why, if I am from other country, visible, I'm responsible for your people, why the government cannot? We must prepare about that problem. To Indonesian people, principle acceptable, no problem, because the physically in Indonesia, if I'm saying to the government principle, will say yes, but because of the currency, physically. If to other country will have the problem without the government with respect. Like this. Tomorrow, if the people remember and understand each other, and the government as the opposite will fighting about the people and the government, that is cannot together. That's why I hope the government must remember, but that is the responsibility from you to others.
Okay, so the governments have a responsibility here in regards to the form of payment, or is it going to be an ATM card for everyone?
Principal responsibility to the government must accept
They accept?
that you have got a claim to your people and to your country. That is simple.
But if if a country rejects, the people can still get, even in a country that didn't accept, they can still get access to 6 million and the monthly amounts.
No problem to the people.
No problem to the
No
people.
problem, because this is about the international system. Yeah. If the principle from the international banking system was running, the people can claim to the banks without cancelled by the government. That is principle, because this is under the control principle. This responsibility for the multinational military operation. Multinational military operation. Yeah. Intra-culture and funds principle. That is.
So I suppose the question is different depending on if you're a government receiving, what form it comes in, versus the people. So the people is simple,
Yeah.
ATM card,
That's right.
right?
Yes.
The government will, it depends on how they want to, how you arrange to make the payment, what form will be accepted by the
Yeah.
government. Is that,
It will make it a lot easier if the government's already agreed.
Already agree. Okay, we say yes to protect the people. Finish.
okay, that's that.
If the government does not agree, it's
Simple
a little bit
bureaucracy.
more difficult because they may even be able to stop it. I think that's what the same.
Okay, got it. So it's important that people support this if they want this to happen for themselves, to encourage their countries, right? They should be supportive because it'd be easier. That's what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the form of payment can easily be an ATM card that gets distributed to every human being. Everybody have a card that have their account for this. That would be the form. Now the second part to this question, because I know a lot of people are concerned, so I'm going to be really specific here. Obviously an ATM card is in electronic form, so my question is, if in electronic form, what device or devices are needed to receive payment? So far what I've heard is you need an ATM card. You'll need the ATM card, and that gives you access to use,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the device you need,
That's
is
right.
the ATM card. You go get it, and that's it.
Yes, you go to the bank, show your ID, you get the ATM card. Everyone already know how to use ATM card. So
Yeah.
it's the most simple one.
It's very simple, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be the way to go. And the concern is some people believe that microchips may be involved, where an implant. Will you require people to have an implant? Yes or no?
But that you cannot using about the system to the people, because the simplifying idea it's using the chip to
Same as
control
you-
for the people.
So if they're trying to use chips to control the
You
people,
was not
Same like
authority
with
to
5G.
control the people using the chip.
So you're against implanting people.
Oh, yeah.
This is a definite,
No.
resounding, absolutely against
Yes.
implanting the people, because that's the opposite of what you're wanting to achieve. And that's the freedom, empowerment to the individuals,
Yes,
not control, slavery.
exactly.
The old system is all about
Yes,
control,
that's right.
slavery.
We're trying to get out of it. We're not
Mhm.
trying to control. Because that would be against what he believes this mission is about. It's the same as you fighting with your God.
Because
You-
principle,
you
you
see that?
cannot control the God.
Right,
You are the control.
correct.
That is principle.
Right.
Because you like using this part.
So at no time will a person be required to get an implant ever, under any circumstance, because you are against the idea 100%, right?
Yeah.
That's on the record. So for many of you hearing that message, that should bring some comfort to you, because many of you are fine walking around with a piece of plastic in your pocket to use as conveniently as you make your purchases and pay your bills. But there's no need for an implant, no need for a microchip. No need at all in order to receive this divinely inspired gift. Am I right?
Yes.
Wow. That's a wrap. Okay, for our next question. So once accepted, how soon will delivery happen for those that receive or the receivers?
That is super speed, and that is will be using 3D event to the announcement about the using. After 3D event, 1 hour, 1 week, month running, because this is about the technical content.
So the only thing impeding this is technical situations only. So it's going to happen as fast as technologically possible. That's what I hear you say.
Yes, because about the technical, the situation not the same. The one country with other country not the same about the situation. This is must step to the schedule. Principal after all the ready, and this is will be announcement using the 3D event in the kingdom of the Surakarta in Central Java, Indonesia. Because this is about the responsibility of the kingdom of Majapahit, Mataram, Anyaparwati, Surakarta, Katiningrat. Now with the new prison, now the United Kingdom of Katsakapa, and now with President Laut here. Simple. After we
So it will be
finish,
simple.
tomorrow we'll using 3D event in the kingdom of Surakarta, Katiningrat to the publish all.
As soon as after the event, the announcement to the world, and as soon as the government, each government can do the process and the technology, they will then proceed.
So people will receive this as fast as through the cooperation of working with governments to have the technical means to spread it out.
Yeah.
Excuse me, to all the people.
Yeah.
And the governments will receive theirs as quickly as technologically possible too, which after the 17th of August, within a short time, not years, maybe weeks, maybe months. And then the governments receive theirs, and then the people start. We're talking for everyone, government, people. This is a matter of months, no more. It's only the technical challenges that impede, how fast this can happen. That's it.
Finish fastest.
We want to finish as fast as possible.
Fastest principle. If we're using about the SWIFT integration project, okay, Belgium come here. Because from the last time, this is the responsibility of the 12 international selection organization in my time. Okay, I'm responsible. I can finish, but it's all from you. Okay, to all the country, I'm responsible. Principal, you accept this is letter from me. Finish all. Because this is for become the education to the world, the first time, and this is principal the first momentum on this planet.
This has never happened before.
Yes.
It's the very first time
Yeah.
something like this has ever happened.
Yeah, it must step by step I'm giving this step education.
And with that, that's a wrap. Okay, ready for the next question. What are the expected results by issuing these payments 1 through 11?
The problem to the people of principle can finish.
So the expected result is that the problem is done.
Minimum 10, 6.
Minimum,
Yeah. The basic of 6, 10.
10 different sicknesses
In the heart will
from the
finish.
heart would be gone.
But jealousy
the-
and other
The jealousy,
will
the
finish.
Greed.
Because
greed,
that is the problem in this planet. And the people in the community.
yes, anger.
Fear.
so that's addressing the spiritual. So the expected result is a change in the heart,
Yeah.
and specifically you're looking at 10 different areas like jealousy, gone,
Yes.
and these types of things. So it's not just the result of everybody's living abundantly, and then the physical manifestation of living abundantly, right, versus living in scarcity, wanting and not having enough.
That's right.
Right, so more than the physical, this is going to be an opportunity for change because of means, because of the financial means, that the heart would be relieved. Is that the expectation?
Relieve the burden to lift the soul.
That's right.
Yeah. And the people will have the performance, the new performance,
They can perform. They can
because
perform.
can finishing about the problem.
Right, I know that some people are concerned that I have to give everybody $6 million, who's going to give me my french fries at McDonald's, I mean, who's going to do that job anymore, right? And it's like people have brought to raise these questions, like, if there's all this abundance.
Probably people that like to fry potatoes.
Yeah, or machines could take over a lot of
Yes.
jobs, or maybe we'll just get back to home cooking again because we're not on the roads anymore, running around with our heads cut off like we do today. But yeah, the thing is that people have options and choices, and the fact is people have got to learn about how to be right. It's not something that everybody suddenly wakes up and they know how to operate in a way that they can drill down into their what's allocated to them, the $6 million, to make the most of it. Some people will figure out very quickly how to maximize that.
Yes.
Others will take longer time to figure.
Right, I think the tourism business is going to boom for a while.
Yeah.
We're going
Travel.
to take a vacation really
Yes.
quickly.
So the I guess we mentioned this before, but the expected result is heaven on earth.
That's right.
This is the aim.
That's right.
Through the change of the heart. That's the key to have heaven on earth, right? It's not the money.
Not the money.
It's the heart of the
It's the
people.
heart. Because who has ever received a gift, an unconditional gift, like
Because the,
In what
the
way?
people must giving about the example.
mm,
The true education to the people using example.
So you give the example,
The
and
example.
then people can follow,
Yeah.
and also
Can
be
change
giving.
about the idea, can change about the car, will be open to the car as the family, nothing one kinds.
To openly just give
Exactly.
without expecting anything.
Yes.
Then
No condition here. It's a free gift.
It's unconditional.
Yeah, unconditional. And that will touch anyone's heart for the first time from God.
It's very touching.
beautiful.
And with that, that's a wrap. Okay, for this next question, I'm going to change the beat here a little bit with something of curiosity. I'm curious in one, do you know if your bloodline, what's running through your veins, is connected to King David?
Principle, all the people connecting. Because to all the blood and principle is the red.
Everybody's blood is red.
It's gentle.
If you will understand about the blood then, principle about the vision and mission.
So your answer is not relevant.
We are
The
all
question,
connected. We are all connected.
the question is an irrelevant question to ask because everybody bleeds red. Therefore, that doesn't make any one of us over better than the other because we all bleed red. That's the answer you're giving us for that?
Yes, if I'm, yes.
Yes.
If no, because I don't understand what the last time. How the doctor will verification.
Right. So no need to seek verification.
Yeah, the doctor can't tell the
For
difference.
an irrelevant question. All right. So that goes into the category of irrelevant.
If they will follow me,
Okay, that was an interesting one. Okay, that's a wrap. Okay, so for the next question is based on a little bit of research that was done on this, and just wanted to see what M1 has to say on a particular matter. Here we go. Is it true that the cabal misled Obama, causing him to refuse so far payments 1 through 11? Is that true?
if I'm answer, maybe, yes,
So the answer is maybe.
because I don't understand what the detail of what the Obama and others. If I am suggest that Obama must support me because in my camp got the counter-terrorism unit from the military USA.
So you have the counterterrorism unit from the USA. So on one hand, yes, he supports.
The support me.
Right. Well, what people need to understand with that answer is that you have been backing the economy already, but under a system that you would say went rogue or it fell off the plan, right? There was what was the word?
Coup d'etat.
That you referred to it as a coup before. Is that right? So things went a different direction than the way they should have gone. You're just trying to bring things back to the right direction?
Correct.
Is that the understanding? And so you wish and hope that Obama accepts, correct?
What are we thought?
With or without, it's going to happen.
What are we thought?
Right. And he's the leader at this time of the U.S. Okay. So there are people that you can just say they're a cabal. I mean, you get on the internet and you throw the word cabal around. You start finding out that there are people that they may not want this to happen, right? That they have a different plan for humanity. So perhaps we're at a fork in the road, a choice, that if we allow ourselves to be led off by a cabal of sorts, which maybe there's more than one, or we have this offered, and this is a choice. Humanity can take a turn in the direction and participate in all the things we've already talked about. So my plea to our leaders all over the whole world, not strictly to Obama, but my plea to all the leaders would be to please accept this offer, this gift, before the deadline, so that it's a free gift. With that, that's a wrap. The next question. This question relates to a little bit of history and background. I'm curious to know about a relationship. What's your relationship? How are you related to President Sukarno?
Maybe I am, because I do not know. If now I have the what relation with the president principal, because in my camp about the estafettes, about the codes, about the identity now in my hands. In my hand, because using what the delivery, what the courage I get about that from the kingdom principle.
Okay, so you have, possession of microfilm, of asset,
Yes.
of all that.
Codes.
Yes.
President Sukarno had some possession of similar.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The first time I get about the documentation principle in the name from the CIA, I get about the documentation principle that is for renewal of.
And that was from the CIA?
Yes, from the CIA. The document must renewal all, Mr. All documentation.
So there is firm documentation that President Sukarno and JFK
Yes.
had a formal agreement slightly before the assassination of John F. Kennedy, President of the United States. JFK, John F. Kennedy. There was an agreement, and shortly after that, JFK was assassinated. That happened. That's historical. And so, was there a link between that agreement and perhaps the assassination? Do you know if there was a link?
Yes, I have got the links about that, and that is principle for the responsibility, and now for Amiga, but it's all the payment one to do it. Because this is a responsibility from the first President Soekarno, John F. Kennedy, until the President of Indonesia. Because Indonesia principle under the authority mandate, multinational must finishing about its own. Because from the last time, Soekarno, the return of the asset, principal, income, and personal organization to the dynasty, that way now with President Kaitan. Because under the story of Indonesia, principle or science or management issue, the coup d'etat, this was keeping very on.
So
this was the coup d'etat.
Had the agreement that was signed between JFK and President Sukarno from Indonesia at that time, going back 50 years now, had that happened, much of what we're talking about today could have already been in place. And, we were robbed. Our history changed at that moment. And you refer to this as a coup d'etat. This is where people took advantage of people not knowing. It was a secret agreement between the President JFK and President Sukarno. Your approach is not secret. You're coming out in the open, on the internet, to the world, globally. The videos on the internet are already spinning virally right now and scattering on news sites all over. That's happening right now as we speak. You're coming out in the open, no secret agreement. This is an offer to humanity out in the open. And you have already said you provide any documentation required, and you cannot be challenged. It's irrefutable documentation.
Yes,
that you can do this.
Because from the content, the Green Hilton Memorial Building is prepared for the code of horticulture.
So the Green Hilton Memorial
Green Hilton Memorial Building, using the code Garuda Indonesia is married with Nanguti. Then King Walisakti is born. That way now.
So that was the code that was in the agreement.
So can we bring that document to the public? The Green Hilton Agreement. Can we bring this out to the public for everybody to see that agreement?
Yes, no problem, because from the last time was prepared to the public. It was open to the public. You can watch it in the YouTube.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. Excellent. Okay. And with that, that's a wrap. Okay, so in our research, we have come up with a question. Can you explain what the importance of the March 11th, 2014 ceremony where you, M1, signed the new currencies to all the countries of the world? In fact, there's an image of you signing a sheet of uncut, dollars. Okay, uncut dollars. You're signing it in the picture, and you can find that on the internet easily. Is there what's the importance of that ceremony?
That is about the meaning, and that is about the Chinese law, and that is about the under actual Chinese currency paper, money worth, gold and silver coin, and that is about acceptable collateral for the treasury tax and bond program. That's why I'm using about the M1 code. The royalty, I'm as the Victor President of SwissIndo Trust International Office, and I'm as the greatest president of the United Nations Organization. And that is the momentum, the first time in this planet.
Wow.
You can think.
So, to put that in simple terms, you're the owner of the currencies of the world.
Yes.
You've been
authorized them.
Oh,
yeah,
what the
everything.
currency? Because that is under patent license agreement.
Right, and I mean this is 2014. It's 2015 now. If you did that without the authority, you could be arrested for that.
Yes.
Right? That you'd be breaking the law.
And are you arrested?
Without I have the authority.
You have the authority because you're an owner of currencies.
He's still here.
Still here.
So
That's
there
how-
is a statement that he is M1, he is
It's a declaration.
And
That is the last time I was prepared in Aston Hotel, Cirebon, principal, because I have got a report from the 12 international selection organizations, from the International Court of Justice, Vatican, until the Queen of Elizabeth, the Secretary General of the United Nations, FATF President. Yeah. That is under my hands.
And you have a document
Yeah,
to
that's
show.
why I'm
show-
responsible.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm responsible to all your organizations.
That was this one?
Yes, I'm responsible to all these organizations.
Let me just put it.
Yes.
There's a signature.
12 signatures.
You have the United Nations Organization, International Court of Justice,
Yeah,
International
those are-
Monetary Fund,
That's got the Pope's signature on it.
yeah. International Financial Corporation, British Royal
And
Family,
this is yours, this is your
Department of
signature.
Treasury,
Because I'm responsible to them.
Bank of International Settlements.
That is about the global
So,
crisis.
so just put this into a, to make this a very fine point. You're not just some really rich guy who decided one day to use his precious metals to fix the world's problems. You've been working on these problems for a long time.
Yes.
You've been heavily involved, have with means, authority, and stuff behind the scenes that most people don't even realize is going on. You've been very busy doing these things because of the authority vested in you. That's what this document shows. That's what you're saying.
And the last time I have got a request from the other person, including the King Abdullah, yeah, about that authority. Okay, I will give him first your request to people from the Japan Imperial regime. I will give him to all together. Using about 38, I will give him about that.
So world leaders know who you are. You're no secret to Obama. Obama knows who you are.
And King Abdullah from
King
Saudi Arabia.
Abdullah knows who you are.
Queen Elizabeth knows who you are.
If you as the
You're not some, it's the people, you know, in high positions. It seems like they kept you a secret, right? They know
Yes.
they know about you, but they didn't want the world to know about you. It seems, perhaps.
Yes.
That's not going to be the case anymore. This is bringing it to light.
Yeah.
This is the opening of the light, right?
If Obama, the last time before the Sultan in the USA, I have a little story to get the story about the Sultan USA last time.
It's shut down.
And before the Sultan, I have a request, and I understand about the government of Obama, by the elder from Indonesia, I understand. And I will protect them to all. And the last time I was signed about the 5 religious in Indonesia. Okay, I understand. That's the Imamat from other religions. And that is what we have about the top secret because that is the connection by the government.
Wow.
For me, no problem because I'm now as the people, I'm freedom because they are as the job to the public, understand all the problems. If now I am step by step, I will give in about the your responsibility. But this is basically the protection about your performance, about your protocol, about your agent, principal business integrity. And I care. And people, they are care. Like all is like this.
I got to tell you, there's going to be some people who are going to watch these videos. They're going to get down to this video we're watching, you know, that we're you know, filming right at this moment. They've gone through all the other videos to get down to this point, and they're still going to go, I can't believe this, what they're seeing. They're gonna be saying, there's no way that this is gonna happen, but that doesn't matter, because August 17th, 2015 is coming. It will happen, and even if you don't believe, the evidence will be irrefutable as we get moving along here. And, right?
Yes.
There'd be no, you know, that's the position you're in. So it's kind of exciting. With that, that's a wrap. I hesitate to ask this question, but I will. So, how does the Counterterrorism Unit 24, CTU, in other words, protect you, and does it protect those around you, like myself, for example?
Yes. What CTU? Because the CTU is for the repression of the law. And this is under the responsibility of the United States of America. If now, in my hand, I am live in other country, this is under responsibility of the United States of America.
So your authority
Yes.
has connections to, you know, you got protection coming from the intelligence and military of
Automatically.
the United States.
Yes. That is principle.
But you are not technically born in America, right? You're born in Indonesia, but yet you have this because of ownership, because that's the reason you have this?
They
Because
have police.
they want you to be safe?
Yes,
Right?
because from the last
Okay.
time, if I'm giving about the security report and now in allowed here, if the last time it is under the ID and under courier from the United Nations, U.S. thing secret, USA, United Nations, and that is under the agent NSI and under the military of the America. If now in the public understand about the global system, this for the security report, because in the security report there is multiple currency to all the countries on this planet. If I'm danger, this planet danger.
I see.
Yes?
So what you're saying is this particular, is it a device? Well, I mean, it's a case, right?
Yeah.
Inside a case,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. To protect me, if I'm using about the protocol, simply using the protocol.
You gotta
Because I have about the Texas too.
you follow protocols and the use of it, it's gotta be properly used for the right reasons.
I can using about the special intent every day if I will. In Indonesia, the same.
So if someone personally threatens you, you have means to protect yourself.
Yes.
This is it.
Principle, I must protection by the guns. Number two, if tomorrow this is will be finished, okay, no problem. Because I'm free. That's not a problem with you.
Yeah.
That is simple. If now I'm in here, this is under the production military and police. In here, you under the police.
So we're under your protection.
If in Indonesia,
That's an official statement.
yes, because all must respect that we in here can reach you, because we in here protection all. I will keeping about your claim. Why all we thought your claim I will keep it? Because this is for the delivery man. I am carrying. If now you don't understand that the but top secret, well, the currency, but the responsibility to all the corporate and institutions on this planet. If you're watching about the infinite bank statement, well, the currency, the secret. And now in here I answer in my hand.
You hold it.
Finish.
Yeah.
Because upon the folder, you must understand for the holder certificate UBS IT.
So you have the authority. You have the collateral. You have the means to protect yourself and the collateral. You're not concerned for yourself. Your concern is fully for the people.
Yes, because my life to the people.
And you're
It's for
given
people.
Yes.
for your
Every day in my head, I cannot stop because I am the same white machine.
Yeah, every
My
day
life
that's
is
all he
in my
does, is doing things.
I will sleep if the God, please. Cannot.
Wow.
Believe or not, that is the truth.
Well, I'm glad I asked the question. With that, that's a wrap. Good afternoon from Laos. This is Tracy Davison. I'm again with M1. I'm with Annie Forrest and Dan Lutz. Today is June 16th, 2015. We have a few more questions we would like to capture on film. Okay. First question, is it true that Merkel out of Germany and Obama out of the U.S. opposed the actions instructed by SwissIndo?
Apa benar katanya Angela Merkel sama Obama itu mereka menentang actionnya yang diberikan oleh SwissIndo?
Saya pikir tidak menentang.
I think they did not oppose, did not reject.
Mungkin juga menentang.
But maybe they were rejecting or oppose
Karena dia dalam posisi jabatan politis.
because they are in the position, political position.
Ya.
Okay, so the answer is you believe they're not necessarily opposing, but due to their political positions,
They had to.
they
Publicly denounced or publicly?
Apa karena jadi berarti mereka itu sebenarnya tidak menolak, tapi karena posisi mereka di bagian politik, jadi mereka itu harus menolak.
Saya pikir itu juga menyangkut ada perasaan gengsi antar negara.
I think there's also, it's got to do with pride between countries, you know, international.
Amerika dikenal negara superpower.
Because America has been known as the most powerful country,
Eropa
and Europe
mengenal bahwa asal-usul Amerika itu juga berasal dari Eropa.
also recognize that Europe also recognize that the beginning of United States is also from Europe,
right.
Karena terkait dari Spanyol.
and because also connected to Spain.
Spanyol itu bagian daripada 12 Istana Agung Ngesti Tunggal.
Spain is part of the 12 Istana Agung
Ngesti Tunggal.
Ngesti Tunggal.
So you may think it's a matter of pride. You don't really know. That's what I'm hearing, but you consider this may be a matter of country pride, right? And that may be the root of that question. The answer in that question may be rooted in pride, perhaps. This is your answer. Let's move on to the next question. Did Bernanke from the Federal Reserve, Chairman of the Federal Reserve, and Obama threaten to resign their positions in case of the release of payments 1 through 11?
Ya, saya tahu itu karena saya mendapatkan email tentang yang seperti itu.
Yeah, Papa heard about this because he received an email about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you receive the email from Bernanke and Obama or someone else?
Dari semua relasi saya yang ada di luar,
It's from all the people that Papa related,
khususnya Eropa dan Amerika Latin.
especially from Europe and Latin America. Yeah.
So they didn't directly threaten, they did not personally email you, but
No.
you have a report from people
Yeah,
that this is what they're saying.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next question.
Yeah.
If payments 1 through 11 are not made, not completed, is global financial collapse imminent?
Jadi kalau payment 1/11 tidak terjadi, tidak sukses maksudnya, apa global financial collapse tidak akan terhindarkan?
Tidak bisa dihindari.
It cannot be. It cannot be.
Kolap akan terjadi.
Collapse will happen.
So if payments are not made, yes, a collapse will happen?
Yes. It cannot be avoided, shall I say?
Sama dengan menghancurkan
So,
dunia.
so when you say crisis in previous discussions, this is the concern
Yeah.
of a collapse, global collapse.
Yeah. If payment 111 is not completed, it's not. It did not happen. The collapse cannot be avoided. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
So the current system has already started to implode, has already folded in on itself in a collapse formation, and unless payments come in, the collapse will complete. That's what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
The collapse will be avoided if the payment 111.
Okay.
Happens.
So payments 1 through 11 can save the global economy from collapse.
Yeah.
That's the other side of it, right?
That's right.
And that's
That's
the bright side.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to another question. It appears that the cabal has prepared to replace the collapsed monetary system with a system that gives them complete control over all people globally. Given that that's true, can you compare what you know about that to what you are offering with payments 1 through 11?
Ngerti nggak tuh? Jadi kelihatannya kebal ini sudah menyiapkan untuk mengganti monetary system yang sudah collapse nanti dengan satu sistem ya yang bisa bikin konflik dengan secara kontrol.
Bagaimana kira-kira
How do you think?
kabal itu baik atau tidak menurut Anda?
Do you think the cabals are good or bad according to you?
My personal opinion?
Yes, no
My
problem.
personal opinion is the cabal is bad.
Jika itu jawabannya,
If that is the answer,
saya menganggap bahwa itu mewakili sebagian orang-orang yang berpihak tentang kebenaran.
I will accept it as that those are the people who are the representative of
Kebenaran.
truth.
Dan jika bumi ini
And if this world, this earth, planet,
diserahkan kepada orang-orang yang tadi disebut kabal,
is surrendered to what you call cabal,
terus kemana para pemimpin negeri ini?
then where will the country leaders,
Kemana para presiden?
where will the presidents be?
Kemana para perdana menteri?
Where will the prime ministers be?
Kemana para raja dan para ratu?
And where will the king and queens be?
Apakah mereka asik menikmati kenikmatannya sendiri?
Do you think they will enjoy their own pleasures?
Ataukah mereka sudah berubah menjadi kapal itu?
Or will they have already changed into this cabal?
So my understanding of that answer is a question, really. So you're answering a question with a question. Your question being, the leaders of this world, be it presidents, kings, queens, prime ministers, what will be their joy if this cabal succeeds?
Jika
That
itu
is
yang-
that is your question
Yeah.
that you answered my question with.
Pertanyaan Anda saya jawab dengan satu pertanyaan tadi.
Your question,
Sebelum aku menjawab yang sebenarnya.
I answer you with another question before I wish to answer.
Okay.
Karena itu saya berharap bahwa apa yang Anda sampaikan terdengar ke telinga
Because
mereka.
this is what I wish for my answer to be heard by them.
Apakah mereka tertidur?
If
Pemimpin-pemimpin
are
tadi.
they asleep? All the leaders, are they asleep?
Apakah raja suka bahwa kalian akan dipimpin para kapal?
Would all the kings and the queens be happy if they are going to be led by the cabal?
Apakah penduduk bumi itu yang diinginkan?
Would the
Apakah penduduk bumi itu
the people, the citizen would be happy?
mereka menginginkan dipimpin kapal?
Would also wish to be led by the cabal?
Sebab saya tidak kenal kapal.
Because I do not know cabal.
Saya hanya tahu dari apa yang tertulis dan apa surat yang sampai ke saya, email yang sampai ke saya.
I only know from what I have read and all the emails that came to me.
Walaupun itu ada identitinya di situ.
Even there were identities of these people.
Karena kabel sekalipun itu bagian dari apa yang aku miliki.
Because even cabal is even cabals, what cabals got?
Apa yang dimiliki kabel itu juga bagian daripada apa yang aku
Because
miliki.
even what the cabals own right now is also part of what he's own, what Papa own.
Jadi harus bagaimana?
So what will we do? Yeah.
Apakah para pemimpin negeri ini akan membiarkan itu, ataukah para pemimpin negara-negara ini akan menjadikan P1 sampai 11? Di situ Anda akan terlihat.
Will the country leaders will allow this to happen, or will they protect the people from
Betulkah
it from happening?
ada familiar sebagai pemimpin negara?
Betulkah ada familiar? Betulkah?
Betulkah ada profesional selaku pemimpin negara?
Is it true that there's anything familiar?
Familiar,
Professional, yeah.
dan itukah performa Anda?
And it's also it's part of your performance, yeah.
So that's about the cabal.
Yeah.
This is your statement for what you've heard of the cabal. You don't know them per se. That's what you said. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah.
These are not people you're dealing with.
Ketika saya melihat
When I can see
dari mulai United Nations di bawah Sekretaris Jenderal
from United Nations under the Secretary General
terkait dengan certification
connected with the certification
12 portal dunia
12 portal of the world,
membiarkan itu terjadi,
allowing that to happen,
artinya menginginkan neraka.
that would mean that he wished for help to happen on them.
Ketika tidak peduli dengan P1 sampai 11,
While he does not care about the payment 111,
maka akan aku jadikan neraka.
therefore then I have to turn this into hell.
Tapi
But
ketika kalian mendengar suara ini,
when you hear this voice,
karena aku menerima 12 tanda tangan dari Anda,
because I have received the 12 signatures from you,
mari kita perang dengan kapal.
let's have a war with the cabal.
Dan aku bangunkan seluruh pasukan Imam Mahdi.
And I will wake all the Imam Mahdi army.
All the royals.
Imam
Yes.
Mahdi,
Imam Mahdi Army, the Royal Army.
Royal Army.
Royal army.
Semua kalian pasukan tentara kerajaan dunia.
All of the kingdom army in the world.
Seluruh induk-induk army A dan BAN Sino A.S.
All of the parent army of Sino A.S.
Albus Raider,
Albus Raider.
bangun kalian.
Wake up, all of you.
Bahkan perangi pemerintahmu ketika tidak benar.
You will even fight your own country when they are not in the right.
Negara ini bukan dibentuk
this country is not to be
untuk membuat lebih buruk.
to make it worse,
tapi untuk melindungi yang lemah,
than already is, but is to protect the weak,
untuk membuat keadilan yang sama,
to create fair, to create balance, equal,
untuk melaksanakan misi di bumi.
To do
Misi di bumi.
to complete the mission on earth.
Maka dari Uni Emirat Arab, dari Saudi Arabia,
From
pasukan
the
khusus pasukan Imam Ali,
United
Bersiaplah
Arab and to
dan
prepare,
pada
prepare
Albus
your
Rider,
army, and to
bersiaplah kalian,
all the Albus Riders also be prepared, be ready.
bahkan kalian berhak menguasai perbankan
Even
itu
you
atas
have
nama.
the right to make the changes in the name, under my name.
Maka akan lahir seperti Egypt yang lain.
Therefore, they will be born Egypt, other Egypt will be born.
Ketika kalian menjadi satria, saatnya untuk menjadi satria.
When you are ready to be the warriors, it is time.
So, thank you for that answer. In summary, what I heard was if the cabal wants to proceed with pushing a collapse and bringing about an alternate system of their own, that would be an act of war on their part. That's what I heard you said. And that your response would be to wake up the royal armies
Yes.
throughout the world,
Yes.
and that
Fight
and to defend,
cabals
Yes.
with Papa.
to stand with
Yes.
to stand with you to defend the
weak.
rights of the people,
Yes.
the weak, the and to their real purpose to be for the people of each land, of each country. Is that correct?
Oke. Dan aku berikan satu peluang lagi untuk kabal.
Also, one more message for the cabal.
Temui aku sehingga kamu legal.
Meet me here, so then you will be legal.
Kalau kalian sudah menganggap dan kalian tidak percaya dengan pemerintah manapun, temuilah. Kalian akan legal. Dan itu akan terbalik 360 derajat.
Is that diplomacy?
Yes.
That's diplomacy. So those that consider themselves to be a part of a cabal are welcome to meet with M1 personally to discuss,
Ya, aku berikan lisensi.
to come up with answers together. That's the message, right?
Yeah.
So, part of the question was to make a comparison, and let me see if I understand what your offer is, because what you're offering with payments 1 through 11 can be in contrast to other answers for a collapse. What I understand payments 1 through 11 is
To bring heaven on
all the ultimate would be heaven on earth, but getting there would be paying off all debt. That means every debt globally.
Yeah.
And of course, we've already established you have the means through your collateral, which is real asset in gold and bullion, to do so. Okay, so that's that. Then, and it also includes, the human obligation, which we've also discussed, which it also includes properly financing the whole entire global economy through, payments to each government, right? So that those payments 1 through 11 is a wholeness, right? To heal the financial situation for the purpose of heaven on earth. So
heal spiritually.
And that ultimately that it's a matter of heart condition to strengthen the heart. And you know of 10 ways that it can strengthen the heart. This financial healing can bring this relief for the whole world, where no one needs to feel jealous of anybody else because everybody has an abundance, whether they're a country or they are a people or a person or an individual. And speaking of the individual, your stance is person's free to choose their own religion. True?
Yes.
Person is free to remain citizen whatever country they want to, they choose to be a citizen of. This is not a matter of citizenship, right? We're not destroying countries, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That the individual's personal rights are respected and understood and honored. And this is not a matter of controlling the people. This is a matter. Your proposal is a matter of empowering the people to be free. That is all encompassing of your proposal, of what your gift is. And there is a timeline. It is August 17th, 2015 for the governments to step up and accept it as a gift. And this can bring about a great financial change for the world and heal it, through financial, then onward spiritual. So I'm understanding the comparison. It's almost like comparing the dark with the light, right?
Yep.
So it's not two colors in the rainbow. It's really the dark and the light in the comparison, right? Okay. I find the answer very reassuring. And I'm glad that diplomacy is an option. And I think that the intent is a powerful intent to seek heaven on earth. So with that, that's a wrap.